Good morning, Sunday morning. I've got no idea what date it is, so I'm not even going to embarrass myself with trying to say what day it is. I could harbour a guess. Well, Christmas is close. So in light of last night's news, 5:30, Nicola Sturgeon announced in Scotland that the whole of the mainland, Scotland will be getting put into Tier 4 lockdown, and we are having a 1 day of slightly relaxed rules. And I'm just curious how people are feeling on Facebook. There seems to be a lot of anger, a lot of unrest, a lot of people not happy by the situation and not happy by... Good morning, Jackie. Hope you're well. So, a lot of anger, right? And I think for me, when I look at this situation, right, like so many, it's easier for us to feel anger than it is to feel disappointment. It's easier for us to feel anger than it is to feel sad. It's easier to feel anger than it is to feel loss, grief. Good morning, Maggie. I hope you're well. So, a lot of anger in Facebook last night, a lot of unrest about people voicing their views around about Tier 4, and a lot of the F word, and I'll not be locking down and I'll not be shutting down and everything like that. And for a lot of us, it's easier to feel angry than it is to feel upset, right? So I'm upset about it. I'm not angry. And I'm actually pretty tired. I'm actually starting to get pretty tired, emotionally drained, and I feel that I've done remarkably well, and I've not allowed my mind to gravitate towards a lot of negativity around it. But somebody that's actually watching, I'll not share her name, but last week, Wednesday night it was, I was going out to walk the dog with a friend of mine locally, and that afternoon I'd met a girl when I was going round the loch, and I said, "Oh, hey, how you doing? No seen you for a while. How are you getting on?" First thing she said was, "I'm done, Ross. I'm so tired. I've had enough of this. I don't know how much longer I can go on like this." And we walked round the loch and we had a wee bit of a chat, and we actually distinguished that a lot of it was more to do with our 85-year-old parents than it was to do with her and her inability to access them and have... Morning, Sinead. Hope you're well. So then Wednesday night, 3 hours later, I'm going out with the dog, and I bump into a close friend of mine. Signal's back. Yeah, and then later on that night I met, good morning, Lorraine, and then I met a friend of mine. She was with her dogs, and I was like, hello, how's things with you? And she just said, I'm done. I had a Zoom meeting with the Lanark club that she's involved in tonight, and she said, I've cancelled it because I've been on Zoom meetings all day, right? So we're now going into Tier 4 from Boxing Day. It looks as if that's going to go on for 3 weeks. That's taking us to about the 15th of January or something like that. And where I'm going with this is, you're entitled to feel what you're feeling, but I would ask us all, myself included, is it anger that you're feeling? And are you really angry? Or are you really just done? You're really just tired? You really just feel like you've not got any control, and other people are controlling the narrative and controlling the agenda that we don't seem to have any say around. We've just got to accept it. It may sound silly and stupid, but it's not. It's not stupid at all. Good morning, how are you, sir? Cool. You don't need shorts, none of us have got them on. So... I would encourage, like last night as well, another thing had come in. My neighbour had said to me last night, "Oh, do you know such and such that lives in Home Street? I've got a parcel for her. I don't, I'll try and find out whose it is." And then we started some WhatsApp messaging, and she the woman was quite right and quite justified. Oh, look at all the food we've bought in. We were planning on having a family gathering, and all these things might sound insignificant, but they're not. They're not insignificant, because people's feelings, no matter how daft or stupid they might seem, they're really valid, they really have to be validated. So rather than feeling angry and starting these hate messages on Facebook and messages of FUCK, the government, and Nicola Sturgeon, and Wee Nippy, and all the rest of it, what about sitting with how is it that we're actually feeling about the rules, the lockdown? What can we do rather than getting ourselves tied up in knots of anger at a system that really is out with our control? It's completely out with our control. And for me, there has to be a degree of acceptance that this is the way it is, this is the way it's going to be. Financially, it's having a huge impact on businesses, and really a lot of small businesses. I can't see how they're going to survive through January and into February, and my thoughts are with those people. You know, the feeling that I've had since we come out of the national lockdown and we've been getting into these smaller tier lockdowns is I kind of feel personally that it's like when you go deep sea fishing, it's like they've got us on a hook, they let us run for a while, and then they reel us in, and then they let us run for a while, and then they reel us in, and then they let us run. And that's starting to really, really grate. I'm starting to get really tired. Like, that's what you do with big fish. You don't just pull them straight in. So that's done 10 minutes. It's not, is it? You're lying, that was the 10 minutes. Is it? 8 minutes, you're doing 8 minutes. You cheaters. You're a dream crusher. You're a dream crusher. Has to be the two old guys that stay in and do 10 then. And it's such a... How do we start to refocus and reframe the situation that we're in? It's a hugely difficult situation for everybody. And rather than being angry about it, we have to really... No good decisions have ever been made out of anger. No positive decisions have ever came from an angry mindset. So it's okay to feel that. You might think that you're angry, but I would ask, and as I'm asking myself, is it really anger that I'm feeling? Or is it upset? Is it disappointment? Is it strain and stress? We're on the last minute. Last minute, brilliant. So, rather than being angry and going into further separation, because we're in separation as it is anyway, how about looking at it from a more holistic perspective that maybe, you know, we're just done, we're drained, we're tired, we've had enough, it's starting to grate on us, our mindset is starting to change, and we're struggling. And I think that that's a lot more honest. I think that's a far more honest approach than putting up pictures of Nicola Sturgeon with a bigger beard than I've got and a Nazi hat, because that's no helpful. And personally, they're not the kind of images that I want to be looking at, because it doesn't bring any value to my life. So maybe what we could do is we could start a COVID group or something like that, or a lockdown group on Facebook or something, where we just start to communicate a bit more honestly and openly about where we're currently at, rather than buying into and adhering into anger, because in my opinion that just comes from a fundamentalist mindset of righteousness that creates more separation than it does harmony. So I hope you have an absolutely fantastic Sunday, and we've got something to look forward to. We're getting 1 day of relaxed regulations where 8 of us can meet up from 3 families, and we can enjoy Christmas to the best that we can. So, wishing you a fantastic Sunday. I'm going to come on later on and do a live for Mags Landland that wanted me to do a live around about addiction and anxiety and addiction. So I'll get that done this afternoon. That will give me something to focus on, other than the fact that I can't get up and climb Schiehallion today that I was going to do. But anyway, have a fantastic Sunday and all the best.